Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots. Speaking of brilliant women, Tavia Rogerson and I recently met at a workshop for entrepreneurs. I loved her energy and we immediately clicked. Tavia comes from a corporate background and has shifted to become an entrepreneur. She supports families and mostly women in finding healthy and more affordable solutions for their home and family needs. We discuss following your dreams and shifting your business and goals as your priorities change. And Tavia shares some tips for being more productive when you work for yourself. And a few tips for entertaining. Here is Tavia Rogerson. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you.
You. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
You were the 8th, right? I was the
1st of November.
I was the 9th. Okay.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, we celebrate all month. How about you?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I know. I agree. It's great. Perfect.
Before we get too far, do you pronounce your name Tavia?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, wonderful. Well, it's great to have you on. I'm so grateful to talk with you and learn more about what you do and share it with my people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure.
And you're a Sarasota person too, right? You live in Sarasota?
Only for 3 years, but yes, that's right. Yeah.
Very good. Well, again, we're part-time down there and have had our home for almost 8 years now. So
where is the rest of your time spent?
I am in Iowa right now, in eastern Iowa. So yeah, it's a little cold.
Well, it's cold down here. I don't know if you've been seeing the report.
I thought it looked a little for Florida.
It's brisk. Yeah. It's supposed to be the coldest night tonight. And then tomorrow, my husband just called me and said that all the landscapers are covering plants and flowers with like tarps because we had frost this morning. There was frost on our roof and frost all over the grass.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's wild. It's very chilly. Yes.
Okay. What was the temperature then?
So I woke up yesterday. It was 38 degrees. This morning was 43. And tomorrow is supposed to be like in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good for palm trees and
it's not good for me. It's not good. I'm chilly. I pulled out my heavy duty like robe last night. I have my fur slippers on. It's challenging. So, and I'm Canadian. So like I should be used to this and I am not at all.
Well, it's shocking to me how quickly your blood thins and how you get used to that heat.
Yes, we adjust very quickly.
It's harder to adjust to cold.
It is. I know, but I refuse to turn the heat on. So I'm just going to layer up and then we'll be fine. So,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any dogs or cats that can lay on your lap?
I do. She's little though, but she's also wearing a sweater.
Oh,
well, I'm like, oh gosh, it's actually funny. Yeah. So fill me in. So tell me everything. Tell me what you want to cover today. And
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have a conversation and have fun. We'll get to know each other a little bit. And
okay.
Yeah, I just really like to ask questions and get super curious about what you do and what lights you up about it. You're a Melaleuca representative, is that correct? What do you call yourself?
So, I mean, I'm an independent marketing executive, which sounds really fancy. Basically, I just say I'm self-employed. I'm in partnership with an online green shopping club. It's oh my gosh, they've been around for 40 years, but basically one-stop shop to grab everything you need, and especially right now at just a big savings. So that's kind of a huge advocate of saving money, buying North American made products, and right to your door, because we all have really crazy busy lifestyles and travel and all this stuff. So I'm all about the convenience as well. So that's what I
Okay.
think. Mhm.
That's cool. Okay. So you said about saving money, especially right now.
Yeah.
Is there a program or something going on, a savings, a coupon or what?
No good question. I just find just in general, because I mean the holidays, I think I saw a stat
Oh, yeah.
2 days ago where well actually I just saw it on LinkedIn 2 days ago. Yeah, where online shopping for Black Friday is at an all-time high. Like retailers are just so excited that people are just getting this money. But where are people getting this money from? Because the cost of living has gone up, everything is high, everything is crazy expensive. And so people go into a lot of debt over the holidays. So, I
Mm.
just love showing people, when you cut out that middleman, that big retailer, and you buy directly from the factory and the source, and especially having it here in the US, you cut so many costs. So people just find that by shopping at this store, they just end up saving a lot of money. So I just love to help people swap where they shop and just save
Okay.
along the way on their day-to-day essentials. So
Okay, cool. Nice.
yeah,
Okay, so how long have you been doing this?
5 years.
Five
Yeah.
years. Okay. What were you in corporate America? What did you do before that?
I was in corporate
Or
Canada.
corporate Canada? Yeah.
Canada, yes, I was in corporate Canada for 20 years. I worked in importing, exporting, and marketing. So I worked with a lot of different brands. We kind of were the Canadian licensee of a lot of different brands. So it brought me really all over the world, which was fun and exciting, and lots of different experiences. But I always say when you have kids, I have two girls now, they're 14 and 11, your priorities really shift. So
Mhm.
I remember one of my not my last, but as I was nearing the birth of my first daughter, that would have been 14 years ago, I was in the dream job. I traveled all over the world. I was in leather goods, fashion, that's my background. And I remember that posting for that role said, must be willing to travel. I think it was like 43 out of 52 weeks of the year. And I had no kids. So I
Oh,
was like, oh, yeah, this will be great. This will be fun.
sounds great as a
A
single person
boyfriend,
and
right? And then but it changes. I
Mhm.
had a choice, to be like everybody else on the corporate staff. They all had nannies raising their kids, and I just didn't want that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I always say that's like the most unselfish thing I ever did. Was saying, okay, my time here is done. And then because I wanted to be a present mom, but my career was still really important to me. So I ended up finding something that worked a little bit better for my lifestyle, still in corporate, but didn't require me to travel that much, and I could still be, home with my family a lot. So
Yeah.
that was sort of like the start and progression into being self-employed. I kind of like started to weed my way down a little bit from the demands of the corporate lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And ultimately then, doing what I'm doing now. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big shift, but your priorities do change and your values, you got to be true to your soul.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Money is not everything. Your happiness really is. So
Yeah. Well, and for a while, the travel is exciting and
yeah,
doing things that, you're contributing to your corporate job and you feel valuable and you're fulfilled in it. But that's great for a season. And then something else is a new dream comes into focus.
right. That's right. I just remember looking outside of like the corporate window, and I would travel to work. I would travel back. I was always commuting because I worked in bigger cities, and thinking there's just got to be more to life than this. Like that was
Oh,
just the overwhelming feeling I had because I had the team, I had the parking spot, I had the income, but I was
yeah.
still missing something real. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought, I can't imagine doing this until I'm 65 years old. It just
Mhm.
felt really daunting, even back then, so
Yeah.
I knew that there was something else out there for me.
Yeah. A lot of those things are, those perks are fun, but kind of vanity driven or ego driven.
Yes.
the
Yes.
title. I've been in corporate too and remember feeling, oh, I got the title, yeah, here's some more work.
Exactly, exactly. And the realization that hits you when you're thinking, where do I go from here? And that's great that they're dangling a promotion, but what
Mhm.
is that? What sacrifice is that going to require of me?
Mhm.
Right? Because there's always a
Yeah.
sacrifice, right? So
Yeah.
it's just weighing out, the season and what things are most important to you. And they do.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, and even being self-employed or your own boss, it's I joke that, some days I'm a really good boss and other days I'm kind of hardcore. So,
right, right. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, that's the thing. It's you have to be very disciplined because you're not reporting into anybody. You're
Uh-huh.
checking to see if you did the task of the day, yeah, so it's a different dynamic. And I always tell people when they make that shift, when they go from working for somebody else and then starting to work for themselves, it's like, okay, scheduling and getting on a daily like to do is a routine is very, very important. Because if you don't,
Mhm.
before you know it, I mean, my kids, I'm going to pick them up in a couple of hours, and then you start the household duties and things like that. So you'll get very sidetracked throughout the day, load of laundry,
Mhm.
making some, you're pre-making your dinner, whatever it is, if you're not really focused and disciplined on what you need to get done, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's easy to get sidetracked by the tasks that are easy to do or that they have to get done so that you can focus more on the bigger things, but it's the bigger things that move the needle.
That's right. Yeah.
So even taking a couple of steps towards those big things is more important than checking off the little
Right.
tasks.
No, you're absolutely right. I find that even myself, it's I like to call them income producing activities.
Yes, IPAs.
Right. So
Woo-hoo.
sometimes we get busy doing the things that we like to do, but they're not necessarily the income producing activities, right? So,
Yeah,
but you can't forget why you do what you do. So you have to find joy in it. You have to find,
exactly.
if you don't, you're not going to do it, right? So
Yeah.
figure out what that is and what that looks like. And yeah, you're right. And just I'm a big list person. So I
Yeah.
write it down. I don't know, it's satisfying.
It
Cross
is.
off, it can be the most minor thing. I paid that bill today, cross it off.
Whoop.
And
Yeah.
so good. I'm like, yes, I got that done today. Otherwise, like I said, the day is just poof gone and the month is gone
Mhm.
and nothing's changed, right? So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do a lot of like in my coaching and mentoring and do a lot of that too, where who do you need to be to get where you want to go and what's important to your values? Who do you need to be first? And that focusing on that will
mhm.
shift your behaviors into being and doing the things that get you to where you want to go. So
No,
that's
that's right. Yeah. No, and one of a great piece of advice that I share all the time, someone shared it with me, was you can't be upset with the results you didn't get for the work you
mm.
didn't put in, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's so powerful because so many times, like I said, the month will be done or things will be done, and you're, "Oh, I thought I'd be further ahead, or I thought I would have this done, but did you actually put the work in to get
Hmm.
results, right?"
Yeah.
So, just, things to keep in mind. And would you hire,
Yeah.
that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Would you hire yourself? If you were watching your work ethic and your daily activities, and would you hire yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's not necessarily about working harder or doing more
Just
because you don't get a
efficient.
badge for that.
No, 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 efficiency. But I also feel too, like as you get older, I know for me, especially, like you just prioritize things differently, like what we were talking about at the beginning. So, like, my morning routine is really important to me. Obviously, I get up early
Hmm.
girls and get them going, but I like to work out. I like to be active. So that's a must. Those are like the non-negotiables. So getting that done in the morning, and and then being done by a certain time. And it's just, if you can look and say, okay, I got done what I needed to, or just organize it a little bit better, more efficiently. It's not about running yourself ragged, but it's finding that balance where you're at peace, you're finding enjoyment, you're finding fulfillment, but you still feel productive. It's very different from a corporate mindset, mine
Oh,
anyways.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
different.
absolutely. You get used to, if you've been working in corporate, you get used to that. Okay, I clock in now and I show up at my desk and here's what I do. But yeah, you really have to, I feel like you have to really take care of yourself first.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah. Your health,
Yeah.
your physical and mental health and emotional, like to be in a good place so that you can, if you're happy, um, if you're taking care of your emotional well-being and you feel great and confident, you can get a lot done in a short amount of time. One thing I hear from female entrepreneurs all the time is that they don't want to feel salesy. They don't want to bug their friends and family, and they don't want to hustle and grind for sales. They may have received some bad advice telling them to post more on social media. So they post and they post and they post. And that doesn't feel good. So they either stop, are inconsistent, or don't convey the right message. I'm Penny Fitzgerald, and I've been training women entrepreneurs for more than 18 years, leading one of the top 3 direct selling teams in my former company. And now I'm providing my proven language, systems, and tools that will help you serve your customers rather than feel like you're selling or like you're constantly working. I've put together a 3-day free live event to teach female entrepreneurs a radically different way of running your business, so it's not running you. A way of doing business that's in service of others. One you can be proud of, where your customers will love you. And one that helps you reach your goals. I'm holding this event starting on Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. You can save your spot by going to my website. That's pennyforyourshots.com and click the green button at the top labeled Save My Spot. Or just text the word SERVE to 319-448-3545 and I'll text you back that direct link. This course is normally $297, but I'm offering it to you for free. Don't miss your opportunity to shift your business from selling to serving. I hope you'll join me, and I can't wait to toast to your success. Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I like to say that's kind of in like your flow zone, right? It's just
yes,
come easily and it's just fun. And that's where the joy comes from versus like the having to do something,
yeah,
that's why I chose what I do, because I wanted to have I didn't ever want to have to. I always wanted to do it because I wanted to, you know what I mean? Which comes with a very different energy as well. So
absolutely.
you don't have to show up to the office today. You don't have to sit in traffic today. Like, it's not, and I don't want to do those things. So I don't
No.
have, you get to choose. You get to choose your day, and time
Yeah.
freedom. Time freedom is very, very important to me. That's why I wanted to. I've always wanted to be self-employed, but I didn't want a business to own me. So little fun fact, I always wanted to have a boutique or, because my background is in fashion and importing
Uh-huh.
like that. So I wanted a boutique and where I could sort of, be a stylist and help people. And I just love shopping with people and things like that. But I was so terrified of the business owning me and, living there 24/7 and be doing the windows in the middle of the night and all those types of things. And I just never wanted that, even when I was 24 years old out of, university. I knew how important it was to own my own time. I just didn't quite know how to do it at that point. So, because you're right, it's not about the hours that you put in, it's how efficient you can be and really just get done, how to prioritize, I guess, more effectively. So, and be able to enjoy all the things. I mean, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a short time. So enjoy things that are most important to you. So,
Yeah, to make an impact, to serve
right.
others. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. With the hurricane here, I mean, we had multiple. It's like I have to be
Yeah,
specific.
this year was weird.
Right. It was very weird. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was so great. The kids were off school, obviously, and then we were able to work in the community and volunteer at the church and things like that. And those are the things. Like it's the because kids watch us, they're watching our
Mm.
activities and I had the flexibility to be able to do that and to drop what I was doing,
Mhm.
take them. And if I was working somewhere else, I wouldn't probably have that. Right. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, this time of year in the holidays, if you were working retail, we probably wouldn't see you again until January.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
remember retail hours too.
Oh yeah, I was in
Mhm.
I worked in I was in the office. I was a buyer, and on the day after Christmas, so in Canada we call that Boxing Day. I still haven't
Oh
figured out
yeah.
what we call that here in the States. I think it's just the day after Christmas. I don't really know. But that was like the biggest day of the year in Canada. And
Mm.
normally that would be a day where we would want to go shopping with our own family and wake up early and go to the mall and things like that. Stand in lines and all that not fun stuff. But I always had to work. I had to go do
Yeah.
store visits. And,
Yeah.
it was just, I remember thinking, oh, I don't want to be doing this,
Mm-hmm.
So,
My family is out having lunch together right now, and yeah.
right. Right. So,
Yeah, I mean, there are give and takes in every business,
absolutely.
but choose
Absolutely.
your give and choose your take when you're.
There's something for everyone.
That's
So,
right.
something for everyone. You just gotta
Right.
have to find what that is. So,
Right. Wow, cool. Okay, so 5 years ago you started with Melaleuca.
yes.
Tell me a little bit about, what do you love the most about it? I mean, you've kind of shared a little bit, but what's your favorite thing to do?
I mean, I love, and I think that moving from one country to another, I mean, I've always been, it's funny, people think I'm really extroverted. I'm either on or I'm off. Like
Mm,
there's no middle ground for me.
yeah.
But coming here, I was really I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any family. I just had my husband and my two kids. So, networking and meeting other people became a huge piece of not only what I did professionally, but just what I needed on a personal level, right? I just needed community. So I think for me, the people, I think the people are the best part. Honestly, when you have a great service and a product to offer people, it naturally comes up in conversation. It's just easy. It's a really easy fit to just talk to people. And I'm like you. I love hearing people's stories. I love, love, love connecting people. So,
Mm,
again, being in this environment here, everyone sort of came, after 2020, everyone sort of flooded down here. So you get everybody from every state, every country. And it's just people are really just hungry for community, I find. And not even just here, but just all over the world, I would say, with everything that happened. But I just love that. I'll meet somebody and I'll find out what they do. And I'm like, oh, I need to introduce you to so and so. You know what I mean? Because I think as women, we're natural networkers. We love to share things that we love. There's just such a satisfaction that comes from, for me, anyways, when you can help somebody, when you can be a resource for somebody. So, yeah,
mhm.
I would say the people. The people is definitely the best part for me. I've always wanted a community of like-minded women around me. Again, it always goes back to corporate too, but and listen, there's a lot of great things with corporate, but there's some people who love their jobs, and there's a lot of people who are counting down to retirement. You kind of get both.
Yeah.
And I never found it motivating to be around people who were like, 10 more years, I got 10 more years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to tell the story of basically all my friends back home and family are teachers back home in Canada. And
Hmm.
teachers are paid really, really well in Canada. And they have great jobs, they really do. Healthcare, all the things. But, it's funny because they're all counting down because it's a high stress job. It absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
just like it is here. But
Hmm.
I mean, you'll get, and my husband gets it or got it too when he was corporate in Canada, but you'll get, a quarterly update that'll tell you the day that you can retire, right?
Oh.
And so literally I would have people who's like, yep, this date, this is the date we're retiring. And I don't know about you, but that's not exciting to me. Like, because retire, you shouldn't have to retire. You know what I mean? Like that's then what? What do you do? Like you should
Mm,
be, none of us are promised tomorrow. So I'm getting off
right.
topic and on a
No,
tangent.
this is good. This is good stuff.
So my mindset is like, do the things that you want to do now. My motto is live without regrets. And not that I, want you to go into debt to do crazy things, whatever, but like we don't know how long we have. And hopefully our health is, gonna provide until it's our time. But I just I'm very much about make the most out of what you have now. So and I don't know how that started. How we started I love about what I do, but it's
Good.
people. and it's community. And my vision is back to like-minded women having similar minded people around you, positive mindsets, hungry for a great life. They just believe in themselves, and they really just want to make a massive impact, not only for them, but that ripple effect on others.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I love. I love bringing women together, community together, just hearing people's stories, finding out, how they came to be, and doing what I do just allows me to do that. I do that from connecting people to just overall wellness with the store. But then, there's a huge referral program attached that I really get to work one-on-one. I work with everybody, but really women. I love working with working moms.
Mm-hmm.
You're most powerfully positioned to help the person you once were, right? So people who have similar situations of, yeah, I was working crazy hours, or I was commuting, or I was traveling constantly, and I just didn't want it anymore, And so I love just showing people a different way as well, and just giving that spark back and that hope back,
Mm-hmm.
because you
Yeah.
you lose it sometimes depending you're a product of your environment. So if you're not in a positive work environment, home environment, you definitely can lose that spark, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm sure you've heard this too, that you kind of become like the five people you spend the most time with. So yeah, if you're
Wisely.
around a negative energy, energy seeks energy, like energy. So, if you're around people who are negative or looking forward to a retirement, it wears on you. It's hard to keep a positive outlook.
Yeah, that whole living for the weekend
Mm.
mindset and like
Mm-hmm.
that, it's unfortunate because, the world that we work in and the hours and the demands of careers, that's what's forced upon people. And I feel like 2020 changed a lot for people,
Mm-hmm.
and people just started to really prioritize what was important to them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very refreshing. You'll hear a lot of people did sort of a mass exodus. A lot of people started working remotely, and they just started to really shift with what was important to them. A lot of people started to put their family first. So I love that. I get behind all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and how interesting that it takes something that big to shift to putting your family first and
Right.
not working all the time. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of employees. I used to be one that would, you know, go in early and stay late. And
That was me.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
well, and I still work. I don't know. It's weird because I'm working for us now. It's
Different.
different.
Yeah, it's different. You don't, and you almost don't mind putting in the time when you need it, because you can also take the rest when you need it, right? So
Yeah.
you're in control. It all goes back to your time, right? You're in
Yeah.
time. And look at you between, I don't know your story, but it sounds like you have location freedom. So you can go
Yeah.
back and forth. And that was what I wanted. I wanted time, location, and financial freedom. Those are the main pillars that were the most important
Hmm.
thing to me. And that's how we were able to move from Canada to the US, because I can work anywhere in the world as long as I have, my phone, and my computer
Yeah.
can work. And obviously challenging with the kids. So, but can't go back and forth too much. But I wanted that. I thought that was really instead of being stuck and anchored to one place.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you go back and forth to Canada?
I do,
Or
I do.
uh-huh.
We don't have a home there anymore, but
Hmm.
all of our family and
Oh
friends are
yeah.
do. So yeah, we go
Nice.
usually back there for a couple of weeks in the summer, and then throughout the year, we have family
Yeah.
yes for the holidays and things like that.
Nice.
It's a short flight, and so it's pretty easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So getting back to when you're working for the weekend, how
Mhm.
great an employee are you? How many great creative ideas are you having and what are you contributing?
So true. It's so true. And there's been studies that have come out of it where employees that have the remote option, even
Hmm.
3 days a week remote, 2 days in, they are more efficient. They really are more
Hmm.
efficient, right? So it's again, it's that balance, what people are looking for. I mean, I remember with me, and I know with so many others, you have to choose, right? For me, I missed how many Christmas concerts after school that I missed because I'd be stuck in
Mm,
traffic. And I mean, that doesn't make for a happy employee,
no,
And
no.
um, yeah, so it just things are different now. And
Mhm.
I think companies are catching on to it, which is really, really important.
That's great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the other thing you mentioned too was you are people think you're an extrovert, and but when you're on, you're on, and when you're not, you're down. That's so important too, to have that balance, to be able to, okay, I need to recharge, I need to fill my cup so that I have more to give.
For sure. And it's easy, going back to what we said about entrepreneurship, it's easy to work 7 days a week, right? It's just easy because, it doesn't feel like work typically because you're doing something that you love. But I think too, the longer that we're in it, I mean, I do definitely have boundaries, and
Mhm.
I won't do things on certain times. Obviously I do what I need to do on weekends, but I mean, really weekends are for my family. So
Yeah.
it's funny, uh, especially down here too, your circle. So I had a little get together. People are always asking me about the store and to share things. Um, and so I said, yeah, I'm going to have everybody over. I think I originally booked it on a Sunday afternoon. So I'm like, people can go to church, breakfast, all that kind of stuff. And then Sunday afternoon. And my circle, my entire network here, they're pretty much entrepreneurs. And it was a great reminder. They're like, oh, you know what? During the week is way better. Weekends kind of like we don't really touch our phones and we're just kind of present with the kids and the family. And I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And then so I ended up booking something for a Monday morning, 10 a.m. instead.
Oh, nice.
It was like standing room only. So it's just like I love how people are shifting and prioritizing things differently, because
Mhm.
I mean, I don't homeschool, so my kids are in school all week. And so busy, they're competitive dancers, so they're super busy during the week and there's not a lot of family time. So weekends are really the time to
Yeah.
just chill and do our thing. And because otherwise, what's it all for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we have these preconceived notions about what people will want and need.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was having I've told this story, I think, on the podcast before, but I had lunch one day with another entrepreneurial girlfriend. And at that point in my life, I was not making calls during the day or not reaching out to people. This was years ago when people still picked up the phone, So
Yeah,
I was not calling
right.
people in the morning because I thought, oh, they're at work. They don't want to be bugged. Well, we got to lunch and I'm still having all my, the calls that I wanted to make that day in the afternoon and evening. And she sat down. She goes, oh, I got all my calls done this morning. It's so great. Now I can like relax. Be like, wait, what? And she goes, well, I wouldn't want to bug anybody in the evening when they're with their family. And I'm like, oh, and it was a total mindset shift to both of us.
Right.
Why don't we, just call when it works and
Mhm.
give them the grace to answer the phone or not,
Right.
and go
Yep.
to, let them choose if they're going to pick it up. And
Right.
yeah, we just have all these preconceived notions based on what we think people need or what they want. And then how about just,
Well,
finding out for real?
I think yeah, I think you're right. And then even nowadays, I mean, I just responded to a text that somebody messaged me, what's today, Tuesday? Maybe they did it on Sunday night.
Uh-huh.
And it's not for anything, but I mean, everyone is just bombarded with texts and
Yeah.
email and messages and I'm like, hey, so but we all just kind of understand. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I missed this. I meant to get back to
Hmm.
you, and so that's the thing. I'm the same way. I'll send a text or send a message and it's people will get back to you when they have a second. I mean, I am the queen of follow-up because it's more if I don't follow up, I'm gonna forget. Um, especially with trying to get together with people and things like that. Like,
Hmm.
hey, where did we leave it? I know we were gonna do something this week. Where did we leave this?
Yeah.
Because if I don't write it in my calendar, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So I'm very much of a paper pen girl. So I already mentioned.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I am. When people pull up their calendars on their phone, I get all.
Huh.
I
Oh.
I I don't know how to do things on calendars on my phone. It makes me nervous because if it crashes or I lose something or whatever,
Oh,
then
wow.
I'm kind of out of luck, right? So no, I have
Yeah.
an agenda and everything gets written down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be that girl with the, everything written down on a physical calendar.
Right.
And then I don't remember which trip it was, but I left my calendar in Iowa and I went to Florida.
Geez. Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, that was bad.
Happen- That could happen too. Yeah.
Yeah, I made the shift really quickly to all electronic now, all digital.
I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to do I use Todoist list, to keep my list of what's important for today to get done. And Yeah, if I have something to follow up with, I have to put it in there to remind myself. Otherwise, it slips through the cracks.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what other hacks do you have? What other tips do you have for people to stay organized or?
Gosh, calendaring everything, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't calendar it, it won't happen,
Mm-hmm.
Even even workouts, I find. I just found a dance class that I really like locally. And I love it because you actually have to sign up in advance. And if you don't sign up, or if you sign up and you don't show up, you actually get charged. So it's, sign up, then you're committed,
Mm-hmm.
I have a daily call at 10 o'clock. It's in my calendar. Like I have to be on that. That's kind of my non-negotiable, right? So
Mm-hmm.
definitely time block things.
Okay.
I also have a rule for if you're a new entrepreneur. I do not, if I'm exhausted, I
Uh-huh.
will never nap during the day. I never,
Really?
never, never, never. Weekends are different, and if you're not a napper, that's going to sound really weird. But because if I were at the office, I couldn't nap. I wouldn't be able to. So I
Right.
kind of have a rule, like I get what I need to get done. And then I have to grab my girls by 2:45, 3. But
Uh-huh.
like if I can't get what I need to get done during the day, like yesterday, for instance, it's freezing again in Florida. I need a heavier blanket for our bed. My husband's like, we cannot go to bed tonight without a heavy comforter. I'm like, okay. But I got called to do something yesterday. I can't remember what it was. And I was actually going to run out to go get my comforter yesterday. And I didn't. So I had to get my work done during the day. And then last night I ran out and I got it done. But like be flexible, but just office hours are office hours. And if you are efficient, like I can get what I need to get done
Mm-hmm.
by 11 o'clock every day. And that includes my workout. I believe in like starting your day early. I feel I just start early, but I also end early, like
Mm.
I'm go to bed probably by 10:30. I'm in bed, but I'm also up at 5:40, so it's kind of like I start my day,
Wow.
but
Uh-huh.
by 8, I'm done my workout. I come home, I always get ready. That's another hack. I always get ready for my day, whether I'm going to be on a Zoom or just phone calls, whether I'm staying home or I have a lunch date or coffee date. But I just find like, and if you're not a makeup person, it doesn't matter. But just getting yourself ready,
Mm-hmm.
changes things too. Because then you just kind of feel like you can show up, for you,
Mm-hmm.
this, um, versus just kind of staying in your PJs all day. I don't think I've ever done that. I would like
Well,
to, but I don't think I've done it.
yeah,
So yeah.
what's that rule that came out of COVID that if you slept in them, you got to change out of them?
Well, it is true. Now, I will tell you, I look put together on top, but I'm wearing comfies on the bottom. Now,
Oh,
they're not
same.
my PJs, but they're definitely
Yeah.
comfies.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
You can wear
absolutely.
the same kind of pants. Just make sure they're new ones.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Recycle. Yeah, exactly. Keep them clean and recycle. But yeah, just a couple of things like that. Get up early, use your time efficiently, time block. I always just like to get ready in some sense of the word. And yeah, I really I don't think I ever have, maybe if I'm sick, but I will not nap during the day just because
Ah,
like those are my office hours, and
okay.
yeah, I might slip in
Okay.
maybe like 4:45, a 15-minute cat nap, but like you won't see me
Uh-huh.
napping at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It sounds
Yeah.
good. It sounds good.
Well, some days, yeah. And the older I get, the better it sounds. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard.
um,
It's hard though, going back to that being disciplined in anything that you do. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Um, because if I couldn't do it at the office, why am I doing it?
Well, yeah,
Like,
I think you have to know yourself and know your body, know what you need and
yeah,
give yourself the grace for what you
yeah,
need. So like I might take a 30-minute nap and I use the Calm app. I use a lot of apps. So I have the
like
Calm app and it has a 30-minute timer and it wakes you up to bird sounds. So it's
oh,
very
right.
gentle and it's very, you short.
Instead of that siren, right?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
I like that. I like that. I think probably in maybe October, I just had a lot going on and I just felt off. We all have those
Mm-hmm.
like weeks, months, whatever. And I just felt really, really off. And I found myself because our mornings start really early here. And I
Mm-hmm.
found myself waking up and I'm just like, I just need like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I would
Some
come,
days.
I would come back home. But then one day I was like, oh, that felt really good. And like
Yeah.
and it's a funny thing because I literally drop my kids off at the bus and I'm home by 7 in the morning. Like that's how early our days are. And so I'm like 7 a.m. I'll go to the gym in an hour. It's fine. Normally
Oh
I'll go
gosh.
right there from I'm
Yeah.
already out and I just go right there.
Yep. Yep.
But before I know it, it's I haven't done anything and I miss the
It
gym.
slips away.
I'm making dinner and throwing in a load of laundry at 11 and I haven't got any work done. And it was just kind of like, and you're right. So going back to what you said, you're 100% right. You have to know yourself because
Mm-hmm.
with me, I'm so, and I don't want to say that I'm so routine based, but I do like routine because it keeps me on
Mm-hmm.
track because I can fall off track really easily. So
Yeah.
when I started to do that and I got a taste of it, I was like, oh, I like these morning.
Oh,
I like this, but then I don't like it because I'm not productive.
it
So
didn't work
it's
for you.
kind of like this like fight, I'm like, girl, go back to what you were doing. What you were doing,
Yeah.
routine. Go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works for me. It works for me for sure.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. You really have to know yourself and also recognize that, okay, maybe your nervous system was trying to keep you safe because you were
Maybe.
on the verge of growth and getting uncomfortable and, oh, let's keep you comfortable for a little bit here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
Good
Oh
stuff.
gosh. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Because yeah, I'm I have a routine, but it's very different from yours. I'm not an early person and I'm more productive later in the day. And so I ease into the day, but by easing in, I mean I meditate and I'm
Nice.
quiet. And then I go for my walk and I listen to something inspirational and then I'm ready, then I'm ready to go. But
Whatever,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would be that early unless I have to, but
Okay. Yeah.
summers look a little bit different. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but I don't mind it. I mean, I don't, besides it being dark when I wake up, I don't really mind it. They
Mm.
do say that, your mind is most open and productive early on in those quiet moments. Now there's no quiet in my house at 5:40 in the
Yeah, that's a season also. Yeah.
season, and I know that. So, but once I do come home from a workout, I take the dog for a walk and
Hmm.
things like that, which is
Yeah.
nice. You kind of come home and then I gradually kind of make the breakfast and do all that kind of stuff too. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
there is something to be said, but you're right, there's seasons. So, I went through a season where I would wake up and I have to get back. It's all these things of like, add that to my list, and I would get up, journal, and I would do things. But then, the girls both started different schools. And then the schedule was even earlier than it was. And I'm thinking, I don't want to purposely wake up at 5 a.m. unless I have
Hmm.
to, So
Hmm.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out where to fit that in. And I haven't been successful yet. So
Yeah.
I think honestly, the best, not word of advice, but just go with it. Figure out what works for you.
Mm. Yeah.
And you said it, give yourself grace. If something's not working, shift it up. Uh,
Hmm.
but I sometimes when you stack so many things,
Mm. Yeah.
they just fall apart too. It's
It
like
feels heavy. I mean,
it's
just your illustration there, just
it's too yeah, it's too much. So it's like, what feels good today? Well, today I got this done. Didn't get this done. Tomorrow I'll add that in. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just it shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel like you
Mm.
have to. You
Not every day anyway.
know,
Some days probably will, but
yeah,
yeah.
agreed. Agreed.
It's got to bring joy.
Have to enjoy. It does.
Very
Absolutely.
cool. Well, okay, so Tavia, I will put links to your shop. Is that what you would call it, a shop?
I would just
Your
love,
store?
I would love a link to just follow me on my Instagram page. That would be great.
Okay,
Because what I do is I always share really fun things and helpful tips on there. And yeah, if
cool.
something speaks to someone or has any questions, and they can definitely reach me through there, which would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely do that and I'll follow you as well. I'm not sure if we're connected or not yet.
Not sure. We'll have to do that.
We will be.
We will be now, for
Very
sure.
cool. Okay, so something I always ask my guests at the end of our episodes or at the end of our time together, what's your favorite cocktail or beverage or glass of wine?
Okay, it's a great question. So if my office was a little cleaner, I would probably take you on a little road trip to a phenomenal drink cart. It was like my vision when I came here to Florida
Fun.
to have a fun drink cart. So it's gold and it's really kind of extra. And so I pride myself on finding really pretty glasses. So huge win. We're not even talking about cocktails, but I'm talking about the glass that the cocktail goes in. So
Nice.
I was out grabbing some holiday decor at
Uh-huh.
a store this weekend, and I found the most beautiful little champagne flutes that have gold
Oh,
bows on them. And literally just in time for Thanksgiving, and we entertained about 25 people. And so we made espresso martinis in
oh,
these beautiful gold bow little flutes. Beautiful.
nice.
The flutes, that's probably the wrong name. They're like a short champagne glass, like
Oh, coupe. Yeah, champagne coupe. Uh-huh.
so that's what it is. They were amazing. So, I mean, my go-to tried is a beautiful red, a Pinot.
Mm.
I have some of my favorites. Um, oh yeah. Can I tell you a fun story about
Yes,
it?
please. That's what it's
So,
about.
going back to our early mornings. So, I come home and so apparently Trader Joe's is known for delicious wine and people go there all the time. It's priced really well. It's just not something I've ever really bought there because I have kind of my go-tos that I always pick up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really early morning. It's probably 8. Trader Joe's has just opened up. I've left the gym. I stopped by to get some things for the kids. And I'm walking through the wine section and there's this, advertisement and it's describing this red wine and this is like me all over it. Jammy notes of vanilla, um berries, and I'm like, oh, jammy, so I like smooth, so I'm like a little bit sweeter. I'm like, wow, where's the sample girl? Like there's samples, they always are sampling things. But
Breakfast of champions.
when I didn't realize the time, when I told my friend this, she goes, it was 8 a.m. I said, oh, I didn't really
It's
realize. They had me
okay.
at jammy and vanilla and things like that. Anyways, so I went to check out, but it was like $9.99. It was this one was a red Zinfandel, which is not my go-to, but I ended up buying it. And the guy that checked me out was raving about it. So he goes, if you like it, you have to come back because we haven't had this for 5 years. I
Oh,
tried it.
really?
Love. I went by, I bought a case. That's when I did go big or go
No
home.
judgment. No
I
judgment
told
at all.
all my friends about it. I think we cleared them all out of it because we all like the same. So a
Uh-huh.
really tasty, mm, smooth red is my
Uh-huh.
go-to.
Okay.
But I love cocktails. I love a good
Mm-hmm.
cocktails.
Same.
Especially Aperol Spritz in the summer.
Oh, my girl.
Favorite, I have all
Yes.
that. I'm very versatile. Very versatile.
I love that about you.
Yeah. So, but you'll find sunglasses here and gin and can't go wrong with a gin and tonic.
That's very good summer thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Okay, so I know
oh,
some people are going to be asking, okay, what do you remember the name of the wine that you picked up?
no, but I'm happy to send it to you.
Okay, okay, I'll put that in the show notes and people can
Yes, but
follow
it's
it.
a
Yeah.
really pretty bottle, and it's almost like she
Uh-huh.
has like, remember the girl in the green scarf from Shopaholic? Do you remember that movie?
No.
Okay, that's a whole other podcast.
Okay.
Picture basically of a woman with almost like a floating something from her, and then
Okay.
it's a Zinfandel on it, and
Okay.
I don't know if they still have it, but I
Mm,
cleared them out here, but they might have got another shipment. But like less than $10 for an unbelievable bottle of wine.
okay.
Like it's just
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Can't beat it. Trader Joe's has some. I mean, some things are good, some are not, in my opinion, are not as great. But yeah, they're for the price, you can't go wrong, really.
Price, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I have a glass tip for you because I think we're kind of on the same page with that. Okay, so being in Sarasota, do you ever get to the Goodwill and specifically the one on 70 out near Lakewood Ranch?
Okay. That one's not far from me.
Uh-huh.
That's where your go-to is. That's where you
Uh-huh. You can pick up the most beautiful glasses there and they're, Riedels and Schatzspiegel, and yeah, they're amazing.
oh. So, but I'm with you on secondhand because there's in Gulfgate, anyone who's from here, there's a beautiful little curated store called Butter. And I've gone in there and I bought the most gorgeous wine glasses and they're all cut out and they're like a
Mm.
ruby crystal. And I
Hmm.
like $2.50 a glass. I'm like, what's happening?
I love it.
I'm like, start the car. This is amazing. So I bought those. And then there's another great little shop on, I think it's called Woven and Co. They're off Clark. And I bought these beautiful, because people will come and they'll want like, yeah, gin and tonic or brandy. Something, and I don't have like a nice short glass. So I bought these beautiful glasses, gold rimmed on the top with all gold flakes in them. And I bought 6 of those. And it's just, so the cart is busting at the seams. Like, we had the holidays and people brought wine and bottles. And I'm like, where do I put all this? Because the future really is these amazing glasses. And we have one with the pool, and then we have glass ones for indoor. And
exactly.
I just want to make you a cocktail because the glass is so fabulous. Like that's what it comes down to, right?
It's like getting a gift in a beautiful bag when it's wrapped exquisitely. It's just like, oh, here's your cocktail in this beautiful glass.
It's funny because we had lots of people over, like I said, for Thanksgiving. And I was telling this one woman about it. And she has a little shop where she'll do she'll bring in some pieces as well and like resell them. And she's like, where did you get them? And I told her, but now I'm price conscious. Like I like a deal. Right? And she goes, how much were they? Do you mind me asking? And I'm like, $7.99. Like when I go to stores, I'm like a $3.99 kind of. These were phenomenal. I had to buy them. She's, girl, I would pay like $30 a glass for this.
Yeah.
I know, they're amazing. I got it for $7.99. First I was like, maybe that's a little bit much, but they're beautiful. They're just beautiful.
Yeah. I don't like to spend money on especially wine glasses because they break.
They break. I know, especially the stemless ones. I just bought stemless ones, but they're so thin.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're cheap and cheerful, but they're beautiful. But yeah, somebody puts it in the dishwasher the wrong way, or you wash it the wrong way, shattered, gone.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's, but
yeah. And oh gosh, yeah. A cocktail in a beautiful glass. It just says, I care about you.
Right.
Sit back and relax.
It's funny. I have Canadian friends and family coming in for Christmas. And I already asked, I said, I don't think I did this in Canada, but I'm like, what do you drink? Like, what's your cocktail of choice? And she said, Bellini and mojitos. I'm like, okay, I don't make either of those. So A, I got to find a glass, and B, I have to find a recipe. And go get all the ingredients, because there's a Bellini glass, I'm sure. I just have to figure out what it goes in. And
a champagne flute would be perfect.
Oh, yeah, that would work. Okay, see, look at you, the expert. Love that.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about it.
She goes, you can buy a mix. I go, oh, I don't do mix.
Oh, no.
I'm not a mix girl. Even margaritas, actually. My girlfriend is a huge margarita fan. And she showed, or every time we're at her house, and she got me into it. So it's like it's a commitment. You are squeezing every lime, like multiple times, agave, the really good tequila, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we don't do mixes.
Makes a difference. Yes. Me either.
I'll have to
You're my people, Tavia. I love this.
Right? Happy hour at my house. Yeah. Can I share one last thing for all?
Yes, please.
So we do not, fun fact about Canada, it's a good place, but I'm just telling you, we do not have happy hour in Canada. Doesn't exist. And I think it's because, let me tell you, because alcohol there is, we have provinces, we don't have states. So it's run by the provinces, and the government owns the liquor board. So it's not private, right? So they have their hand in it, which makes it more expensive. So a bottle of wine here, let's say that would be $10, is probably closer to $25, $30 in Canada.
Wow.
Change. And then, there's a lot of tax and things like that. So I just don't think that they have the capacity to discount alcohol during happy hour. So we just don't have it up north. Wow. So when we came down here, my husband's and I, our first experience, we went to the daiquiri deck, if anyone's familiar with that.
Yes.
So anyway, we didn't even know it was happy hour. We dropped the girls off at dance and let's go to daiquiri deck and grab a drink. I probably had 2 drinks. He had 2 beers or something. We get our bill. It's like $11. And I'm like, they made a mistake. Like, we need to start the car and leave, right? And I looked it up and I'm like, tax, what? There's like nothing. Like, and then I saw happy hour pricing and I'm like, this is the greatest country in the world. What is happening? Like, it was amazing. And then after that, I had I started to make friends here, and they would say, hey, do you want to go for HH? I'm like,
oh, I've not heard it referred to like that.
And they're like, happy hour. And I'm like, oh. So then I just started to say, I'm from Canada. I don't know what that is, but okay, I'm there. Just tell me
I'll
where
be there.
I'm there, right? So happy hour, HH.
Nice. Okay. H squared.
H squared. Yeah. Should be a name of a something. Speakeasy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
You have to knock 3 times and use the code word.
There you go. There you go. I like it. Awesome.
Oh,
Well,
that's fun.
cocktails for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Very cool. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
My time is probably up. Everyone stopped watching. Like there's always more stories, but
there are no rules.
it's no, life is good. No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been great getting to know you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. I'll be back down in January, so we'll have to.
Absolutely. We'll coordinate.
Yeah, have to have that cocktail.
We will have to.
Yeah.
Glasses, right?
Very good. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Well, enjoy the holidays. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Thanks, Tavia.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
That's a wrap on another spirited episode of Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I hope you've enjoyed the intoxicating blend of wisdom, wit, and wonder that these incredible women bring to the table. Check out the show notes for links to resources referenced in today's episode. And remember to subscribe and raise a glass with me every Thirsty Thursday as we continue to serve up inspiration, celebrate resilience, and reignite the passions that set our souls on fire. If you've loved what you've heard, please share the podcast far and wide and leave a sparkling 5-star review to let me know your thoughts. It would also help tremendously if you would visit pennyforyourshots.com and subscribe to learn when new episodes are available and pick up my free recipe. In the meantime, remember that your story deserves to be served and savored. Cheers to your brilliance and of women everywhere. Until next time, keep sipping and experiencing life's extraordinary moments. This is Penny for Your Shots, signing off with a clink and a toast to us. Cheers.